Okay, so sorry about that. I got cut off. I don't know why. But so getting back to it, I just wanted to make sure that this video, it's not one dimensional. It's not just for recovering drug addicts or people who are in an active addiction. Um, it's for anybody out there, and especially right now during coronavirus and just the weight that's putting on all of our shoulders, that mental weight and that depression, and I can say I've struggled with it too. I've struggled with depression. I've had days where I don't want to get out of bed. I had it, and it's a terrible thing to have. I mean, for 2 weeks it felt like somebody took every single bit of energy that I had out of my body, on top of the fact that I felt terrible, like I had the worst flu ever. And now people that are close to me and my family have it, and I'm seeing the same things, and it's a terrible, terrible disease, and it's depressing. It's depressing when you can't go to work, you're quarantined, you have to stay in home. I mean, you have to stay at home, which 5 years ago, if someone said, "Hey, you're gonna have to be quarantined for 2 weeks," and I was working maybe at the dealership and working 65 hours a week, I would have thought, all right, this is great, man. I get a 2 week vacation. Well, I'll tell you what, after about day 5, this time around, of laying around in bed and whatnot, it was enough to make me want to go crazy. And I think it's really hard on people. So these are just tough times we're in. Financially, people are struggling. People are losing their businesses. We're divided over what the right thing is and what the wrong thing is, and how do we even know what that is? None of us are the experts. I pray a lot about the government and our leaders, and but they're human, and like I said, you're free to believe in whatever religion or higher power you want to believe in. I go to God constantly. Without God in my life, I know for a fact I wouldn't be here. I'll get more into that in later videos, but I mean, it's a fact. I shouldn't be. There's just, I mean, anybody who knows me, whether it's been first responders on the scene of my accidents, doctors that have done surgeries on me, nurses, ER assistants, doctors in the ER, therapists I've had, counselors I've had in rehab, friends, family. Um, I took the whole terminology of having 9 lives, and I rewrote the book on that one into about 18 lives. So I'm just very, very, very grateful to be here. And I figure that, I can either sit here and, we all need to work. We all need to make money. Money is a tool that we use to get the things that we need to get. And, I don't know what's going to come of this. There's nothing more than I would love to do than to travel around and to speak to people and let them know that, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And just when you think it's the darkest, it's the light's right around the corner. It doesn't happen like that for everybody, but it does happen, and it is possible. And just shed some inspiration into some people's lives. And if I could have my dream job where I could say I wake up every single day and I love doing what I do, I love it. That would be it, going out and helping people. And experience is the truest teacher, they say. And I'm not proud of it, but I do have some experience in that category. And there's so much more to say, guys. And I'm going to work diligently on getting this website up. I don't want to put the name out yet because I don't have it finished. I'd say I'm about 3/4 of the way there. But I am going to continue to keep posting to YouTube. I can't even believe I'm going to say this because, like, I like YouTube. Everyone likes YouTube. It's fun to get on there and click on stuff and go down the wormhole of YouTube, and before you know it, you're watching something that you never thought you'd be watching, but you're glued to your phone or your tablet or your TV. But I would really appreciate it if you guys would subscribe and just click the like button. I never thought I'd be saying that. I kind of hate to even say it, but if I'm going to get this thing off the ground and I'm going to use it for a good purpose, then I think that's kind of part of what has to happen. And so I'm going to continue to work diligently and work with others. And I don't want to just work with people who have been through experiences. I want to pull in, I would like to pull in some other people, my pastor, maybe another pastor I know, some of my good close friends that have been through other things in life. I would like to pull in some doctors that specialize in addiction, in depression, some psychiatrists, psychologists, whoever I can get to come in and to help me with this. And if there's anyone out there listening right now that feels like they might have something that they can bring to the table, please reach out to me. I'm not hard to find, and jump on board, because this is in my heart. And being 42 years old, I'm at a point in life where, I've done several different things, and I think I'd like to spend the remainder of my go-getter time, my go-getter as far as having the motivation and the energy to go out and to really just grab it by the horns and to wrestle it down and to make something out of it. I want to do that with other people that want to share that passion with me. So I hope I didn't butcher this up. I wanted to get a video out tonight, and each day that I stall out and I don't is the day that I don't. But and there's probably a lot of things that I forgot to say that I wanted to say. But I'm going to keep coming with these. My goal is within the next month, I definitely want to write my book. It's been very hard for me. I've been writing it for almost 10 years, and I went through so many changes during that time that I've had to just wad certain parts up, and life changes, and we know that. And then sometimes I get to a point to where I get very insecure on what I'm writing, and I feel like I'm a good enough writer to write it by myself. I don't need a ghostwriter. I don't need, any of that. I can put down my own words, but I want to make sure that it comes off right, so it gives the right message to the readers. If that makes any sense, I want it to really, really help people. And there's parts in my story that people are going to have a hard time understanding. And sometimes I get to those points and I just get stuck. And I'll tell you what, right now, since with my dad, with his Alzheimer's, coronavirus, it was just a really strange summer for me. seeing people I care about get sick, job changes, you know, every time I go to pick up that pen, or I have three different ways. I either type on my laptop, or I'm old school. I like to write in my notepad right here. I like to actually put the pen to the paper. And I have Dragon software too, where I can put my little earbud in, and then I can just talk into my other one. And you would think you could write a book in an hour doing it like that, but um, where you get stuck at is in here. You have a story that you want to tell, but you don't want to fabricate it. You don't want to tell any lies or anything. You just want to make sure that it comes off right so it does what you want it to do. And that is to help people. And, you can say, well, just tell the truth. Well, I always tell the truth when I tell these stories, but sometimes what one person might think about it might get taken out of context, and then before you know it, you meant something simple, and then it doesn't make sense to certain people, and to certain people it does. So that's where I get hung up on the writing. So I figured, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and let that part come as it comes. And I've got hundreds of pages of just I've got journals. I've got, like I said, hundreds of pages of written testimony about my past, and about things I was going through, and feelings that were in that I was feeling at that very moment. And the one good thing I did was I always took good notes and explained it good, and I can go back, and then I've got legal documents, unfortunately, that I don't have to remind myself of all the crazy stuff that happened, because I've got tons of that stuff. So all I got to do is pull that out and read through it. Not proud of it, but one thing I wanted to say too, guys, before I end this, I talked a little bit about shame in here, and how living with shame. And I want you guys to know, and I can't speak for everybody, and I can't speak for, even certain people I know that just say the right thing because it sounds good. Because how you can really see how someone's living is, all you have to do is sit back and watch them, and watch their actions. And their words can sound great, and I can sit here and I could have been more polished up. I could have put together a speech, and just basically looked down and acted like this was coming off the top of my head, but I actually just wrote it so it would sound good and sound impressive. But I want to be real in doing so, and so I want people to see that what I'm doing is, what I'm saying is matching up with what I'm doing in life. And I slip and I stumble, and I find myself getting caught up in petty little arguments, and firing off and saying dumb stuff, and then I regret it immediately. But because I feel like it's life is too short to get caught up in a lot of this stuff that's going on in the media right now, and all this blah 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 blah. And actions speak louder than words, and that's a statement that I've really learned to hold on to, and really tight in this last 5 years of my life. Because if you want to know how someone's doing, you can listen to them, and whatever they say can sound terrific, can sound great, but all you have to do is sit back and just observe and watch from a distance. And if he or she, if their words don't line up with their actions, you have your answer right there. So before I really got into this, before I started doing it, even before I started getting into my book, um, 4 or 5 years ago, and having clean time and being at a point to where life was good. And, I was coming out of that hole and holding my head up high in my community. And I think people were starting to see that, and there's always going to be some naysayers. And I don't blame you for being like that. Anybody who I grew up with that might be listening to this, I don't blame you for that one bit. I don't hold any animosity against anyone like that, because you know what? I earned that. I did that. You didn't wake up one morning and decide to say, I wonder if that guy is just saying what he's saying so it sounds good, or if he's actually walking the walk. My choices are a direct result of everything, of the repercussions and the consequences that I have to live with and that I had to live with, and how people viewed me. As far as, you can only say so much, and then you keep screwing up, and after a little while it's over, and I'm the same way. Even though I've been through what I've been through, I'm the same way. If someone tells me, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing great, this is going great, this is going great, but on the flip side, I'm looking at their actions and I'm seeing them get into trouble. I'm noticing that they're using substance. I notice that they're not honoring their family, they're not taking care of business. Then I already have my answer. Then you already have your answer. And that's all you have to do with me, or anyone else for that matter, is sit back and, you can always ask questions and listen and say, hey, how's it going? And I think you should do that with people. But all you have to do is really sit back and watch them and see if, like I said, if their actions line up with their words, and then you have your answer right there. So, I hope I wasn't all over the place right there, guys. This is number one of one. Number one of many, I hope. And I just want you guys to know that it's very tough out there right now. I see it on an everyday basis, and I did a pretty good job for quite a while of, I went through some things in this past year that were a first for me. And definitely with my father and our family, watching him go through this terrible thing with having Alzheimer's, and seeing your father, who is so strong and mentally just so on point his whole life, and then it's completely out of his control to have him slowly sort of taken from you. And the only thing I can say on the positive is that I don't think that people with dementia and Alzheimer's, when they get to a point that they actually know what is going on, the worst part is if there is mental or physical problems and they have to suffer with that. But on the mental side, from what I've seen, and my father's in a great place in Kalamazoo that is specifically geared for people with Alzheimer's and dementia, most of them are to the point to where they don't really even understand that what is going on. They're just living in the moment, really. You just have to kind of go with the flow, and that's what I have to do with my dad. And it's been hard for all of us to make that adjustment, but I love my dad to death. I love my family. I love my mom, my brother, my sister, all of my aunts, uncles, cousins. you know, I have people outside of my family that might not be blood, but they might as well be, and they know who they are, and they know exactly who I'm talking about right now, and I hold them very, very close to my heart, and I'm gonna need these people in my life, you know, because I look at them like family, and they hold me accountable, and they care about me, and I know I have my family that cares about me, and um, you know, it's just I'm done living in shame. And just so everyone knows what that means, is that doesn't mean that I don't wake up and have remorse about the things that I did, and have remorse and regret and shame about the people that I wronged or the people that I hurt during my addiction. It just means that if I choose to live my life in shame, I'm going to stare out that rearview mirror for the rest of my life, and I'm never going to be good for anybody. I'm not going to be good for my family. I'm not going to be good for myself. And right now, my family needs me, and I need to be on point. And we're definitely going to have some things, you know, we're going to go through that are coming up that are inevitable, that we all know. And I think we're probably a little bit better prepared for them, because it's not like with my father, it's not like it's something that happens overnight. You know, where he got in his car and he went to drive to work early in the morning like he always did at 5 in the morning, and, you know, was hit by another car or something. You know, this has been ongoing, so you start to kind of get used to it, and you build up coping mechanisms as you go to the best of your ability. But all in all, that's what this is all for, guys. And I really want to put my story out there. I know some of you know it, but there's only about 4 or 5 people that know it. You know, besides my attorney, and that actually know it. And it's a crazy story, but it's a testimony. And like I say, I'm not glorifying one bit of it. What I want to do is I want to use it for inspiration. But the whole point of this video, the whole point of what I'm doing right here, and what I'm going to continue to do, is to put a forum up for people who are struggling, who can relate to situations I've been through, situations of guests that I bring on here that have been through. And on the podcast, we can talk, we can do call-ins, we can share with each other, and then I plan on compiling a list of resources. Not being a medical professional, obviously it's illegal for me to give out you know, advice, and to give out certain to say certain things, but it's not illegal for me to compile a list of resources and tools of how to help yourself if you are struggling with depression, or if you are struggling with substance abuse, or if you are struggling with anger, or I don't know. I struggle with obsessive compulsive disorder, which is, I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, I clean my car like 3 times a week. I can eat off the floor of my car. I'm a neat freak, so I guess I just try to channel it into that and not let it get the best of me. But I know it bugs some people for sure, and I'm not going to mention their names, but I know I've driven some people crazy, because I've got it so bad. Sometimes I just come in my house and mess stuff up just so I can straighten it back up again. That's when you know you've got it. That's when you know you've got it. So I want to thank you all for listening. I just want to say that, you know, guys, we're going through a tough time right now. None of this was scripted. I didn't quite know what I was going to say when I started. I just wanted to let you know that I am here, and my goal, and there's nothing more than, I'm going to have to work, we have to pay the bills, but there's nothing more than I would love than to get back into speaking on a public level and to put together this channel and my podcast and to make my career helping people on whatever level that may be. But I know if that were the case, I would wake up every single day for the rest of my life, and I wouldn't like my job. I would love doing what I'm doing. I would love my career. I would love the fact knowing that I'm helping other people. If I know one thing, I know it's that I was put here on this planet to help people, and in whatever capacity that is. I think I'm finding that out right now. There can be, it doesn't just have to be one, there can be many. And, guys, so if you are going through something, in closing, just, there's so many cliche statements. I cannot stand them, because they don't always pertain. I know people mean well, but they don't always pertain to everybody's situation. But just know that this is a very, very, very hard time we're all going through. It's not normal. Most of us have never experienced anything like this. I believe in my heart that it's going to get better, and I believe that when the smoke does clear and the dust settles, I believe that we're going to have a newfound appreciation for life and each other as well. And we're going to set down, on the in-between. I don't know what's going to happen. I hope it never comes to, something crazy, a civil war or something like that, just because what a waste that would be. I mean, we're all here. We all inhabit this earth. We live on this is our country that we live in. We have it so good here, even though things are so screwed up right now. We have it so good. And if you see somebody out there struggling, it only takes, and I found this out too, and I'm going to say this in closing. This is going to be it. Things as simple as being at Meijer and grocery shopping and seeing somebody in the produce aisle, maybe an older, elderly gentleman or woman, and just having a conversation with them, whether it's a funny conversation about produce, making some kind of joke to make them laugh, and just the demeanor. I've really been trying to do that in public to people, like instead of just ignoring people and walking right by them. I know I can't be in your face right now with COVID, but I've been trying to engage with people in a positive way and shed light instead of darkness or hate, or just being short with people. And the effect and the reactions I'm getting when I do this are just amazing to me. And that goes to show me right there that we're hurting for compassion, we're hurting for love, we're hurting for unity. And people weren't put here to have a 9-to-5 job. People weren't put on earth to be professional football players and basketball players. Yeah, I mean, we have abilities and all that, and I agree with that 100%. But we were put on this planet to love one another, and I know that to be true, because you can take 1 minute out of your day and you can say one sentence to a complete stranger that you don't know, and you can look around for someone who might look like they have a look on their face like you don't know exactly what's going on, but they have a look on their face like maybe it's an unhappy look or unpleasant or they're just struggling, or it's maybe they could be depressed, but you know there's something going on with that person when you look at them. And then you take that minute or 2 minutes or even 5 and you make them smile and you give them the best of yourself right then and there. And the effect that that has on that individual, it's like the butterfly effect, or if that's whatever you call it, or the ripple effect, you know. That person might go and might not have been planning on speaking to one person. They wanted to get in and out of that store as quick as they could and get as far away from Meijer and get home. And who knows, maybe they come around the corner and maybe they see someone drop something and they pick it up for them, and before they know it, maybe they realize, you know, they have something in common and they're laughing and they're talking. And that's what this is all about. This is all about people helping people, us pulling together, helping each other to realize that we're going through a very, very tough time, and we don't have to do it alone. We don't have to do it divided. We can do this together, and we can learn to forgive each other. We can learn to love each other better, and we can learn to become human again. And I just hope through some of my story coming up that you know, I can spark some people to jump aboard. And maybe I can't relate to everyone's situation, but maybe maybe that person will be able to. And then, you know, the end goal is to have a network of people out there and to have put together something positive where people know. And there's a ton of stuff out there. I'm not the icebreaker in doing this by any means, but by doing this, I know that I will be happy putting my effort into a project like this. And it will give me a chance to share my story and maybe help some people that are struggling with what I struggled with. So I just want to thank you all for listening. I know that was maybe a little bit all over the place. I think as they go on, they'll definitely get better, but I know they will. You know, I have a whole page of notes with an outline here. And I completely went off of it, completely went off of the outline just to try to just get it out there. So I just want to say thank you all for listening, and I really appreciate it. For those of you that do know me, and if there's anybody out there struggling, until I get this thing up, until I get my webpage up, to where you can just send me an email directly to my page, or there'll be a call feature where you can call me on that. You know, if you have my cell phone number and you need somebody to talk to, I'm telling you right now, you can pick up your phone, you can call me directly. I'll be here for you. If I don't answer, leave me a message. I'll call you back. If you need if you just need an ear, if you need advice, just ask. You know, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I've been through quite a bit, and you know, I'll shed whatever light on the situation that I can, and you know, maybe we can put our heads together, and maybe we won't agree on everything, but maybe we can come to an understanding. And I think at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. I don't think we're all ever going to agree on everything. I think it's going to be about coming together in unity and being able to come to an understanding so we can get back to being loving towards each other. And with that said, I appreciate you guys listening, and please do the like and subscribe thing. I'm sorry, I feel like a schmuck saying it, but I guess that's how you get things going on here. And one thing that I do know is I'm bound and determined to succeed in putting this together. And one thing I know about myself, and even when I was using in my addiction, if I put my mind to something, even in the negative, I'm going to accomplish what I put it to. So flip the script and turn that to the positive. I am not going to take no for an answer. I have a voice here. I have a voice here. I have a voice here that tells me, Rob, you can do anything you want to do. There's nobody that can stop you except yourself. If there's people out there doing it and they're putting half the effort you think you could into it, there's no reason that you can't jump out there and do this and make your dreams come true. And then I have this little guy over here, and he says, Rob, you're not going to do this. And this is, if you were going to do this, you would have done it years ago. Well, I'm going to start to tune him out, and slowly over time, I think by doing this, I'm going to shut him right down and shut him out. So I love you guys. I appreciate you watching, especially if you watch this all the way through. I'm going to keep them shorter on the 2 that I put out a week, and then on the podcast, we'll see how that goes once it gets up and running. But I just want to say thank you. I love all of you guys. I don't care what it is that you have going on in your... I do care. Don't get me wrong. But what I mean is, I don't care how embarrassing you might think it is. I don't care if... all I'm trying to say is, if you need to reach out, and if you don't have anybody to talk to, you can talk to me. Trust me, I've probably been through it even worse. I've done some things that, I look back and I think, oh my gosh, what were you doing? I don't ever want to tell those people, or I don't ever want to tell people any of that stuff, but it's all going to come out because it's who I am. It's made me who I am to this very moment, and I'm proud of who I am, despite making mistakes and, bringing shame on my family and, hurting my reputation and my family's and the individuals I affected with my substance abuse while I was actively using. I'm proud of who I am still, and I have to be, or else, I'm never, ever, ever gonna make it in this world. I'm never gonna move forward, and I moved backwards enough, and I'm sick of living in that lifestyle. So I guess that's another thing that prompted me to jump on here and do this. So I appreciate you guys. I love you. You guys know how to do this probably better than I do. You like, you subscribe, you do all that. I'll keep you posted on the webpage when I get that up on the podcast. In the meantime, if you don't have my number, if you need some sort of resource, if you're struggling with something, chances are I know somebody that I can put you in touch with, or we can do it together. And you can always find me on Facebook and just send me a message, and from there we'll connect either on the phone, send you my number, and or FaceTime, whatever's comfortable for you, and start making some headway. But that's it. That's all I had for tonight, guys, and probably a disaster for the first official one going up, but you got to start somewhere, and you got to start with your heart, and that's what I did tonight. And I think that I was a little bit all over the place, but if I can say one thing, I know everything I just said came right from my heart. So having said that, I love you all. I hope you have a great weekend, and just hang in there. Times are rough. We're gonna have another, looks like, nice week coming up. I've been doing stuff like taking my dog, go outside if you have a dog, or you have trails, or you can get out and go for a walk, go out and enjoy nature's beauty. So, I think with technology, these things, yes, they're great. In this iPad that I'm able to get my message out to you, it's fantastic, but I think also we spend a lot of time sitting 5 feet away from our loved ones, not speaking to each other, or we're not out doing the things we did. Like me, I spent my childhood outdoors, running around, getting muddy. Now I'm 42 years old. I'm probably not going to go out in the woods and run around and get muddy, but just going for a nice walk, going and just sitting down on the beach and watching the sun set completely is just a godly, amazing thing to see. And we take those things for granted. And so there's a lot of beauty out there, everybody. And I believe if we pull together and we just, instead of ripping each other apart, maybe just start showing a little bit more love towards each other. And even if we don't agree, just some understanding, if we're capable of that, which we are. God gave us that ability, and with that, I just want to say goodnight, and I hope you guys all have a good weekend, and I look forward to seeing a lot more of you on here, and I'd be very, very, very grateful for anyone who likes and subscribes and helps me get this off the ground. And if you'd like to be a part of it, if you have something that you feel like you might be able to bring to the table, or that you would like to share, please contact me about that too, because this isn't what do I want to say? This is all inclusive. We all go through things. None of us are exempt to life's problems. They don't discriminate against Tom, Bill, Jane, whoever. They hit us all at different times, and there's going to be a time where your life is going to be great, and you're going to have somebody and their life is just going to be one storm after another, after another, after another. And then those tables turn. And that's how life goes. And so you have someone right here on the screen right now that you can reach out to. And I'm pretty sure that if we continue to get support for this, if I do, and I continue to surround myself with like-minded people, and really just keep this on my heart and keep in mind what the purpose is, and push, that we're gonna help a lot of people. And so if anyone else wants to be a part of this and jump on, I would encourage them to, and I would welcome you with open arms. So thank you very much for listening, and you all have a terrific rest of the weekend. Rest, stay safe out there with the COVID. It is real. Take the precautions. Mask up, hand sanitizer. If you feel funny, go down and get a test. And all we can do is just take the proper measures and just keep praying that life gets back to normal. And in the meantime, just be good to each other. And I think we're all capable of that. So thanks, guys, and have a good Saturday night.